What's up YouTube, Capital G here, got some Merfae action for you guys to check out, showing you a little bit of what Merfae can do as a deck and a really spicy lock. This is super spicy, so spicy I've never even seen like one of the main monsters that is used in this lock. I've never even seen this card before, but a spicy Merfae lock you can pull off against to annoy the heck out of your opponent. Now, I don't think Merfae is going to be all that competitive. I mean, it's a cool archetype and everything, but from what I've seen, Merfae is going to struggle doing damage. I predicted that, but also Merfae seems to be very boom or bust. It feels like an archetype that is largely going to live and die off of its power cards, things like Rescue Cat and Obedient Schooled. All these cards are susceptible to Ash Blossom, by the way, and if you get these cards off or if you open with them, that's excellent, especially if you open with them in multiples. However, these are pretty much like your main power cards and they're not really like searchable in the deck, and if they are hand trapped with like Ash, you're gonna have a rough time, but if you do happen to resolve them, you're in really good shape. So as you guys can see, he opened with multiples, and actually Obedient School is not a hard once per turn, so if it gets Ash, you can activate another one. But the reason these cards are so powerful is because they're like one card Naturia Beast, and they can also, like, if you have multiples, you can get to your Merfae Exceed monster, and then that can search the monster born during the which you can use during the end phase, and it kind of sets you up really nicely. You use the monster reborn, you summon one of your Merfaes back from the graveyard. The second your opponent summons, you can then activate their effects, and if you get something like Puppy, then you can just summon any of your other Merfae monsters from your deck. That Merfae monster is online, and then in another chain, you can potentially even activate the Exceed, the Merfaes of the Forest, and negate one of your opponent's monsters. So it's kind of like, once you get this going, it's kind of like a snowball effect. Now, I don't know why he used Emergency Call, unless he just forgot for some reason that Turtle Beast on the field. Bro, you don't even gotta go, Soga. What are you doing? Anyways, he's going to go ahead and summon Increase. He's going to take the opportunity to summon the Puppy, or to bounce Puppy, and that summons another Merfae from his deck. That actually is going to trigger this guy, I believe, in another chain, the Merfaes of the Forest. So when his opponent summons Valiant, he is able to just go ahead and negate that guy. So that's pretty good, but he's not done yet. His opponent summons Scroll Sky, and now he's going to activate the Penny's effect. Now this is where the lock is going to come in, and he did have to actually hard draw this card, but this is a card, the Big Tusk Mammoth. I didn't even know what the hell this actually was, and it's really cheeky because you would think, okay, Cap, well, he's out of interruption, right? So what's stopping this guy from just attacking over the Naturia Beast or attacking over the Exceed monster? Nothing, right? Until you summon this guy. The Big Tusk Mammoth says your opponent cannot attack with monsters during the turn that they were summoned. This means basically you just don't get it. Like, if you're going second, you just don't get a battle phase in your first turn, unless you have evenly matched, unless you're not using monsters for the battle phase. Yeah, if you have something like evenly matched, which doesn't really, it's not a monster, then you could still do that. But basically it just kind of makes it so that your Naturia Beast is always kind of protected, and then you can use your Merfaes for like Exceed monsters that are outside of the Merfae archetype. So your opponent can summon big monsters, but they can't actually use them to attack during that first turn. And usually if your opponent just gives you another turn, you can just summon other stuff. So you'll see right here, he's going to go for Utopic Future. His other Merfae Exceed monster is pretty much paid for itself at that point. It's not going to really do that much. But Utopic Future is good in this deck because, again, I said that, Merfae can't really do damage, not with the monsters that they have. So you can convert those monsters into other monsters. Utopic Future can take his opponent's monster, go ahead and attack with it, and then you can actually convert this guy into some negation as well. You can go ahead and rank it up, and then it turns into the Utopic F-Zero Future Dragon, and it actually turns into negation. So his opponent tries to activate the Increase. For some reason, I guess he just didn't read this card. He says, nope, not only am I going to negate that effect, I get to Snatch Steal You as well. Now, it can be a little dangerous using F-Zero because you don't want to clog up all your monster zones, otherwise you can't take your opponent's monsters, and you always want to take your opponent's monsters. So right here, he's going to go ahead and summon this guy, the Mythical Beast of the Forest. This is the one that when it's special summoned, it gets to blow up one of your opponent's monsters. Every Merfae build that I've seen runs at least one copy of this card because it's just a great piece of disruption during your opponent's turn, because you just get to pop something that they're going to summon, and it generally can disrupt their combos. Keep in mind, he can still obviously negate all the spells that he wants to use and all that good stuff. And all of these monsters can attack. Like, yeah, you can go on the battle phase, but what's that do? All your, like, if you're not able to make a big field and get this off the field using monster effects, you're just never going to get a battle phase at that point. So he's just going to clean them out with the Ronin Raccoon. He's going to use Honest Neos, but unfortunately, Ronin Raccoon cannot be destroyed by battle as long as he has, I believe, a face-up Beast Warrior. I'm almost certain that Ronin Raccoon is like identical to Mecha Phantom Beast Draco Sack. I don't think it has to be a token. I think it just has to be a beast that's on the field. Let's see. While you control another beast, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, this card's basically like Mecha Phantom Beast Draco Sack. Anyways, let's go ahead and check out the deck profile. I've actually looked at it. There are so many 1-ofs in this deck. It's insane. And check this out. This is some serious cheese. He actually is running a ninja engine inside of here. That's really dope. I don't know like what exactly the play, because obviously he has to play some transformations with those Hanzos, but I thought that was kind of cheeky as well. I mean, maybe you could probably tune this down, take out some of the other stuff, and put some hand traps, because I'm looking at this build and geez, I really don't understand how you would go second at all with this Merfae's build. That's another thing that I'm concerned about when it comes to Merfae's, is their ability to go second, because they're such a reactive deck and all of their monsters respond, or they kind of activate when their opponent is either using some type of like a summon or using the battle phase. It kind of makes me wonder how they're going to be able to go second if the opponent has an established board, and also like the battle phase maybe isn't as important at that point because they've already got control of the game if the Merfae isn't able to break their board. So I don't know, Merfae's kind of remind me in a way, their play style, their inherent play style and how it is with going second, it's kind of like Cyframes, but a little different. Cyframes are great going second because they're all reactive, but Merfae's, the things that they're reactive to, not really great going second because your opponent can have an established board and maybe they don't need to summon at that point. Anyways, if you guys are interested in downloading the Merfae deck, of course, it will be in the description. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.